Have you ever wondered how people manage transportation in the coldest places on Earth, where roads vanish under mountains of snow and the air is so cold that even engine oil can freeze solid? In conditions like these, regular trucks don't stand a chance. But has humanity ever really accepted limits? Of course not. That's why engineers created machines that look like they belong on another planet. Giants built to crush glaciers, face blizzards, and carry supplies to places no one thought were reachable. Some of these trucks are so enormous, they seem to defy physics. Others are rare legends, seen only by a handful of people. But every one of them shares the same goal: to survive where ordinary vehicles fail within the first few meters. Today, we're going on a journey through the greatest snow trucks ever built. Which one would you dare to drive? Stick around, because the final machine on this list will completely change the way you imagine transportation in frozen lands. Nodwell 110. Let's start in the 1960s with the Canadian-built Nodwell 110. Back then, the Arctic was unexplored territory, and ordinary trucks just sank into the snow. The solution: tracks instead of wheels, like a tank. What do you think? Would you have trusted a small tracked machine in the middle of nowhere? Its 3-liter inline-4 engine produced just 140 horsepower, but that was enough to carry heavy loads across endless white plains. Oil companies relied on it to reach drilling points, and one machine even ran for 30 years at an Alaskan research station. Imagine surviving 3 decades of storms and still coming back in one piece. ZIL 4906 jumped to the 1980s. The Soviet Union unveiled a futuristic-looking rescue vehicle, the ZIL 4906. It wasn't meant for roads at all. It was designed to retrieve cosmonauts after Soyuz landings in frozen wilderness. With a 7-liter V8 producing 180 horsepower and massive low-pressure tires, it glided over snow like a hovercraft. Can you picture this machine rolling across an empty white field, its huge tires leaving barely a mark? During one mission, it was the only vehicle that reached the stranded crew while every other truck got stuck. If you had to bet your life on one rescue truck, would this be it? Trum 20. Now let's go back to Siberia in the 1970s. Enter the Trum 20, a truck designed to float on snow with tires taller than a person. Unlike tracked vehicles, this one used massive low-pressure wheels and an articulated chassis, letting it twist and turn where rigid trucks couldn't. With an 8-liter V8 making 250 horsepower, it hauled pipelines and shelters across ice and mud. Just imagine standing next to one of its wheels. Would you even believe it's a truck and not a machine from a sci-fi movie? Yarov 5920. In the 1980s, the Yarov 5920 pushed things further. This articulated tracked beast packed a 13-liter V8 with 300 horsepower. It wasn't fast, but speed wasn't the goal. Strength was. With its huge tracks, it transported food, fuel, and equipment to remote Arctic bases where nothing else could get through. If you were dropped in the middle of Siberia, which would you choose, wheels or tracks? Many engineers swore by this one. ZIL E167. Back in the early 1960s, the ZIL E167 prototype was born. 6 wheels, each nearly 2 meters tall, powered by a 10.4-liter V8 producing 300 horsepower. It looked terrifying, wide, heavy, and unstoppable. During tests, snowstorms froze entire convoys in place, but the ZIL kept rolling. Can you imagine watching this steel beast plow through a blizzard while everything else stood still? No wonder it became a legend even without mass production. Tatra T 813 Kolos. From Czechoslovakia came the the Tatra T-813 Koloss, a true monster of the 1970s. With a 12.7-liter V12 and 8-wheel drive, it produced around 270 horsepower. Its independent suspension gave it unbelievable stability on ice and snow. Military operators said it felt like steering a steel ship across frozen seas. If you could test drive just one of these machines, would this be on your list? MAZ 543. Then came the MAZ 543 from Belarus, one of the most powerful trucks ever created. Under its massive cab sat a 38.8-liter V12 engine with over 500 horsepower. Yes, 38 liters. Built for missile transport, it was also used in the Arctic to haul huge loads. 8 enormous wheels carried it across snow, ice, and swamps. What would it feel like to sit inside a machine that can move hundreds of tons without flinching? Probably like driving a land battleship. Vitya's DT-10. Need something even closer to a tank? The Vitya's DT-10 is your answer. This articulated track giant had a 13-liter engine producing 420 horsepower and could haul 10 tons over ice, swamps, and rivers. Watching it move is mesmerizing. It bends in the middle like two machines working in perfect harmony. If you were planning an Arctic expedition, would you pick this unstoppable crawler as your transport? Foremost Delta III AHT 730C. And finally, at the top of the list, the Foremost Delta III, also known as the AHT 730C, built for Antarctica. With tires taller than a man and a Caterpillar diesel pushing nearly 600 horsepower, it carries scientists and supplies across the most unforgiving continent on Earth. Inside, a heated cabin keeps passengers safe at -40 degrees Celsius. Imagine gliding across endless ice in something that looks like a futuristic landship. Would you dare to ride this Antarctic titan? From the pioneering Nodwell 110 to the Antarctic supergiants, these machines aren't just trucks. They're steel legends, proving that with courage and engineering, humanity can conquer even the harshest frozen frontiers. Now tell me, out of all these snow beasts, which one would you take for a drive?